Fierce fighting continues to rage in Ukraine's Donbass region, and Russian commanders continue to try and seize the city of Bakhmut. Reports have emerged of First World War-like conditions, as Russia's army launches wave after wave of infantry attacks against heavily defended Ukrainian positions. Other areas of the Donetsk region have also seen heavy clashes that have resulted in high casualties for both sides. The UK Ministry of Defense reported that Moscow's troops were making creeping advances around the city, and the Russian Defense Ministry claimed that Wagner had liberated territory in the northwestern and southeastern parts of Bakhmut. Over the past few days, units of the Ukrainian Defense Forces have repelled more than 58 enemy attacks. Defense Forces aviation struck 7 areas of concentration of enemy personnel, and units of missile and artillery troops attacked 2 areas of concentration of Russian manpower and military equipment. The General Staff of the Armed Forces of Ukraine reported this in a morning briefing, reports Ukrinform. As a result of an airstrike by the Russian Air Force, the command post of the Ukrainian Armed Forces was destroyed. During the night operation, airstrikes were also carried out on the command post of a separate battalion of the Russian Armed Forces on the right bank of the Dnieper River. As a result of the attack, the command post was destroyed. This command post was used to control the grouping of Russian troops and, in all likelihood, could have been key in organizing a surprise attack by Russian forces. This operation is part of a strategy to suppress Russian troops and emphasizes the active use of modern technology and unmanned aerial vehicles in the fight against the enemy. As reported by Ukrinform, the armed forces of Ukraine during the full-scale war eliminated around 183,750 Russian invaders, 620 of them on the last day. However, according to Russian media, a night attack by PMC Wagner and the Russian armed forces prevented the transfer of the Ukrainian armed forces to the western part of Artyomivsk. On April 20th, at night, the PMC Wagner attack aircraft, together with the artillery crews of the Russian armed forces, prevented the armed forces of Ukraine from moving supplies, new personnel reserves, and military equipment from the village of Konstantinovka to the western part from Artyomivsk. The Russian assault group attacked the positions of the Ukrainian armed forces in the village of Stupaki, covering the movement of reserves along the highway between Artyomivsk and Konstantinovka. Although the General Staff of the Ukrainian Army stated that the Russian attack was repulsed, they did not mention the losses suffered by the Ukrainian Army. As a result of the fierce fighting, the reserves of the armed forces of Ukraine heading for Artyomivsk were forced to retreat to their original positions. In the South Donetsk direction, Russian troops also achieved success. According to reports, advanced units of the Russian armed forces have advanced to the outskirts of the Prekistovka settlement, which is located near Vuhledar. The position of the armed forces of Ukraine in this region is very important for ensuring the protection of the Kurakovo settlement. This direction is considered dangerous from the point of view of a possible counterattack of the armed forces of Ukraine. Meanwhile, Russian forces have made some progress in Bakhmut. The UK Ministry of Defense said that heavy fighting was ongoing along the whole Donbass front line, but there was a realistic possibility that Russia has reduced troop numbers and is decreasing offensive action around Donetsk city. This was most likely to divert resources towards the Bakhmut sector, with the front line following the main railway tracks in Bakhmut. Ukraine is generally holding Russia's envelopment from the south, the assessment said. The critical question for both sides was how exactly to conduct any major drawdown of their units around Bakhmut. Ukraine is keen to free up an offensive force, while Russia likely aspires to regenerate an operational reserve, the mod said. Amid the battle for Bakhmut, Russian forces have been trying to increase control over the whole Donetsk Oblast, around half of which they occupy. As of mid-April, Ukrainian forces continue to hold parts of the city west of the railway line, while Russian forces led by the Wagner Group have taken the administrative center. There have been heavy losses on both sides. The U.S. think tank said Monday that Wagner was getting reinforcements, ammunition, and political recognition compared with the Kremlin's previous efforts to expend Wagner forces and Prigozhin in Bakhmut. Putin's improving relations with Wagner may also be a sign of the Russian leader's reluctance to increase mobilization, and that the Kremlin may be hoping to use Wagner trainers to prepare its mobilized forces. The UK Ministry of Defense also said Russia may have put significant effort into this defensive work because it believed Ukraine was considering an attack on the city of Melitopol. The defenses had the potential to be a formidable barrier, but their usefulness depended almost entirely on adequate artillery and personnel support. At present, Russia has built a very strong front line. If Ukraine gets bogged down in it or gets stuck in the defensive line, it will be very frustrating, and there will be problems. But if they could break through and use their tanks in open space, then they might actually be able to capture a lot of territories.